Hello guys, today I'm going to be reviewing Empire Earth 2. I'm just going to talk about different parts of it, like all the good parts. I like none of the bad parts because there aren't really any. So let's get right into that. The game starts off with you having 5 to 25 citizens. Then you take these citizens, assign them to jobs, and from those jobs they'll produce resources or build buildings. And then with the resources you have, you can take them and build different types of buildings with mainly two functions. The functions being for military or for peaceful empire building things. With a surplus amount of resources, you can take that and build a barracks, a workshop, or a stable, which later becomes a tank factory, and build military. Soon you'll have a large military, and you can attack your opponents. Not only are defense buildings limited to that, but there is also fortresses, outposts, and coastal defense, and later on in the game, air defense. Now that I've talked about how the game basically works, I can go on to why I like the game so much, and I can also show some example footage of the game. In terms of negatives for the game, I haven't found too many. Some of the negatives include that the game doesn't really work on Windows 8 or 10, and that multiplayer doesn't function normally. But all of these things are solved by the unofficial patch that was made by Dr. Mona Lisa. It works great and it adds a bunch of new units. So basically, there are no negative points. But I will talk more about the patch later in the review. However, one of the most notable problems you can see is the AI. They all act similarly to each other. For example, normal to easiest, there is no real difference between how good they are. The only difference is that normal acts normal and has normal settings, while easiest gets many disadvantages. Buildings cost more, their citizens produce slower, so it makes it feel disingenuous to a real skill. While hardest AI will act completely the same as you, but they'll produce faster, they'll have more resources, they'll make more buildings, they'll get more territories, everything will be faster. A unit you have that does 34 damage, 54 damage for them, and that's both at the same upgrade, so it really shows the disparity in the fact that there is no real skill. But overall, most of the problems for the game aren't that notable. The biggest one being the AI, but if you play multiplayer, you won't encounter that problem ever. So it's not that big of a problem, but if you play single player a lot, you will notice that it is pretty big, and it kind of makes it so that you can't play against any harder or hardest AI, which kind of for me is bad because I usually like to play against hardest AI versus playing against players online. In terms of positives the game has quite a few, and it would take quite a while for me to list all of them, but I will go through a few, so here they are. Number 1, aside from the AI's difficulty settings, the AI work great. They act a lot like normal players, however, if you want to get better and better, soon you'll find that the AI can't maintain their human likeness, although it always feels good to play with the AI from the difficulty range easy to hard, those being the middle difficulties. One thing that maintains its flow of fun no matter how your skill level is a 5v5, 4v4, or a 3v3v3 battle with AI. It's always fun to be one of the many allies in a locked battle, and even when you're better than everyone else, it's still fun to crush your opponents. Second, the maps are great. You can either choose from a randomly generated map that you can choose the settings for, or you can choose a pre-made map. The randomly generated maps are always fun as you can choose from a bunch of different designs including plains, islands, continents, and Pangea. Even among these different styles, the maps are endless. Unless you put the same seed in, you will never get 2 of the same maps. Third, the campaigns are enthralling. The campaigns, both made by the creators of the game and the community, are well built and balanced. To get through all the campaigns would take roughly 15 hours, and that's longer than most campaigns of modern games today. Even if you don't like all the missions in a campaign, you can choose to play each mission individually in the scenario selector. Aside from the missions made by the creator, with the unofficial patch 1.5, there are a plethora of user-made missions that are also given to you. which can be as good or better than the missions that came with the game. Also, you can build your own campaign missions or maps under the Map Editor tab. Fourth, the tribes are an intricate system. In the expansion exclusively, there's a system that you can put in tribes, and the tribes will always be in stage 2 no matter your stage. Even if you're a stage below them, they are still considered primitive. They add to your game in a great way, making it so that not only can you ally with other players, but you can incorporate the primitive tribes, giving powerful bonuses. For example, one tribe allows you to build walls for free, which is a great bonus in a battle. Fifth, the game allows you to progress in epochs, also known as stages, that take you through 500,000 years of history across 15 stages. The game allows you to start at any stage and end at any stage, making it easy to play your most favorite epochs and avoid your least favorite ones. The stages add new buildings, change the style of buildings, add new units, and change the resources you will need. Sixth, the music is very atmospheric. The music varies based on civilization and by epoch, and always increases your immersion with the game. During the first few epochs, you'll have tribal music, really absorbing you in the prehistoric and tribal feeling. Soon the music progresses to more modern music, and never makes you question whether the music really fits the situation. Later in the game, in epochs 11+, a modern soundtrack similar to the music today plays. It really gives you the feeling that you're in a big war, and that things are seemingly chaotic. That's all the major upsides. However, there are many more upsides to speak, including the HUD, the crown system, and Citizen Manager, but I chose not to include them or take up a great portion of the video. Next up, I want to speak about the unofficial patch. The patch was created by Dr. Mona Lisa and can be found in the description, and it improves the game in a number of ways. It creates a new multiplayer server to make it so that you can actually play multiplayer, as the original server for multiplayer went out of function as the company went bankrupt. It also adds a bunch of other optional units, buildings, and settings. It allows the game to run in 16:9, unlike the 4:3 it is normally limited to. It adds new units and buildings that are optional to use and that are rarely needed. Finally, it adds a camera that allows a wider pan and a flat look over the map that offers a unique view. I don't just highly recommend the patch, I believe to play the game today, it is required. Overall, the game is great. It includes a great core gameplay system, a nice HUD, a great feel, and great music. It never loses immersion and always keeps you on your edge waiting for something to happen, unless you are on Islands, which stays completely stagnant the whole game. But Islands is a choice you only make once, and aside from that, the game is great. The game gets a 9.5 out of 10, and everything is exceptional even at today's standards, but I am biased as I've played this game since I was 4. I thank you for watching if you made it this far. This is my first video, but reviewing things will not be the whole idea of the channel. The channel will really be me making whatever I want to. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope the video made you want to buy the game and help keep the community alive. Please like the video if it helped you, and leave a comment telling me how I can improve my videos. Have a great day, and see you soon.